Okay. Someone posted a story inviting me to join them. But we are doing a Q&A. It's all about mental expansion. Thursday. Or is it not Thursday? Or is it Wednesday? I think it's Thursday. Or is it Wednesday? Or it's Thursday? Ah, it's just it's nothing important. Now, how we are going to do this Q&A will be, or it is going to be derived by your questions. By your questions. Now, when you talk about archetype, basically when you talk about, for example, let's talk about the Kamba people in Kambani, which is a part of the Kikuyu. So Kambas ni part of the Kikuyus. Don't believe all that crap about Gema, Gikuyu, Embu, Meru association. It had nothing to do with association. It's Gikuyu, Embu, Meru, and Kamba. A Kamba niyo metagwo Kaba, okay? Unasikianga watu wakiongea about the Kaba stone, the original Kaba stone, Kaba. Now, the Kaba, Kaba, Kabbalah, and all that Ka, the energy of Ka, we are talking about the archetype of the archer. Ndio maana Wakamba wanatumianga arrows, which is a symbol that you find in a lot of mythologies. Now, the archetype of the Kamba or the Akamba people is focus and concentration. Remember, when you're using the arrow, you need to concentrate. You need to concentrate fully on the target. You need to block out any distraction. You need to survive in the Kamba region, even when it's dry. Okay? So this is the need to be mindful or clarity when it comes to achieving your goal. So your whole culture, your whole education system, your whole, and there's nothing wrong with education, but the only thing you should be learning with education is language, aka you should only be learning maths, putting one and one together, and English, and the only reason you'll be learning English is for communication only, nothing more. English doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form apart from communicating. Nothing more. Nothing less. There's nothing more. There's nothing to brag about English. English doesn't make you educated. It's just a form of communication. It's just there to make your language easy. And when you talk of language, you actually even know that you don't even need a language. I can look at you. Waweza kuwa umekaa mahali nikuje nikuangalie nikuambie oe ama nikuangalie. I can look at you a certain way and immediately I look at you be like shit. We have to go. Hapa kimeumana. I don't have to say anything. So language is not even about talking or communicating. So shout out to everyone in the comments. I'm gonna give it another like 5 minutes to have the people join. And then, but you can start now. We can start with the Q&A. You can start with the Q&A. You don't even have to wait for anyone to join. You are everything. Wewe uko hapa ndio uko hapa. Hakuna mtu mwingine anafaa kuwa tukisema tunangoja. Tunangoja nini? Okay? What are you waiting for? So start with the cues. Start with the questions. Any question that you have. And if there's no question, we can keep it going. Now, what you are looking at right there in the sky is what you call a rainbow. It's what you call a rainbow. When you go to most of your cultures, utasikia watu wakiongea about I saw a rainbow in the sky. There are people who wish on a star. People talk about I'm wishing on a star. Now, yesterday we had a double rainbow. I took that picture from home. We had a double rainbow in the sky. And I thought, why do the people who taught you everything, why do they hide so many things from you and make it seem unimportant? For example, when you look at a rainbow, the only thing you can say is, oh my God, a rainbow is so beautiful. Look at a unicorn. But is that really what it is? Is that just what it is? Ama kuna something more behind that? Okay. I'll assume there's no questions then. So I'm gonna let it go for the next 14 minutes if so, and if there's no question in the next 14 minutes, I'm going to close the live and I can go to other things. In the meantime, we can read the Bible. We can read the Bible. We can read the book of Kings. Let me ask you a question. Which part of the Bible, or which book of the Bible do you think has got a lot to do with new beginnings? What part of the Bible talks a lot about beginnings? Why are you texting me? Texting me right now na nakuanga live. Si utablokiwa tu saa hizi wewe. So we are going to read the Bible. We are going to go to Deuteronomy. When you go to Deuteronomy, we are going to go to chapter 4. Come on, where is chapter 4? Deuteronomy chapter 4. Come on now. Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 19. Tutaenda hivyo tutafika chapter 4 wewe. And then that will be my message for the day. Because if there's no questions, then we can keep it moving. Deuteronomy. Come on. Deuteronomy chapter 4 verses 19. In chapter 4, where is verse 19? Hata sijui nasema nini. I'm just going to look for it. Okay, found it. Unless, this is Deuteronomy 4:19. Unless, having looked up to the sky, and having seen the sun and the moon and the stars, and the heavenly bodies, thou shouldest go astray and worship them, and serve them, which the Lord thy God has distributed to all the nations under heaven. That is your Deuteronomy book. Chapter 4, verse 19. It says, unless having looked up to the sky and having... Okay, let me read it for you in Kikuyu. What is Deuteronomy in Kikuyu? Deuteronomy 4:19 in Kikuyu, in the book of, in the Bible verse, in the Bible, what is the Bible version? What is the Kikuyu version of Deuteronomy? Deuteronomy. Ni Deuteronomy koga na itago atia? A Thessalonike. Can someone help me? Deuteronomy in Kikuyu. Amathoma buku ya Gikuyu. Deuteronomy, what do you call Deuteronomy in Kikuyu so that we can read it in Kikuyu? Anyone? See, all Christians. Look at all these Christians and they go to church every Sunday, but they can't remember the book of Deuteronomy. What is the book of Deuteronomy in Kikuyu? Ainyu mutura muthomagirwo ni ates na kiria na kiria na kina Pastor JJ na all the other shenanigans nonsense. Eta what ya? What is Deuteronomy in Kikuyu? Karaja magiri. Deuteronomy na Gikuyu metaga atia? Ibuku ria Deuteronomy kona Gikuyu. Ibuku ria Deuteronomy muritaga atia na Gikuyu? Nini nauliza nyinyi mko kwa live? Si mtu mwingine nauliza. Mnaitanga aje kitabu ya Deuteronomy na Kikuyu? Kwa nilikuwa nataka tusome Deuteronomy 4 verse 19. Pin a notice. How do you pin a notice? Pin a notice for viewers to contact. Pin a notice. Display that second contact on there. For you can message me. You can send me a direct message right now. Huh? Oh, that's how you pin messages. Okay. Now I know. So you guys mnataka kuniambia mjui Deuteronomy na Kikuyu. So then let's do Q&A, because if you cannot tell me Deuteronomy in Kikuyu, then I cannot teach. So then let's do a Q&A. Then tuulizane maswali, kama mko na maswali ya kuuliza muulize. Na kama hamuna ni sawa, ni kumaanisha mnajua sana, unajua. Ucokereria maathani, shout out to Kamau Kenya. Deuteronomy, ucokereria maathani. Ah, nice. Ucokereria maathani. Let me go to the Kikuyu Bible. Let me do ucokereria maathani. Ucokereria maathani. Ucokereria maathani. Kugururio. Philomena, Ahibiriania, a Thessalonike, a Korosai, a Korinitho, a Galatia, a Efeso, a Korosai, a Tumo Mariko, Johana, Hagai, Habakuk, Nahumu, Hosea, Koheretho. Ai, ndigwĩciria nĩ gũcokereria maathani. Maũndũ ma matukũ ma tene. Ilikuwa Old Testament ama New Testament? Juu Old Testament Nehemia, Ayubu, Thimo, Rwĩmbo rwa Suleiman, Jeremia, Ezekiel, Amosi, Jona, Nahumu, Zefania, Mathayo, Luka, Tomwa, Korintho, Sera, Filipi, Ahibrania, the Hebrews, Philomena. I don't think that is the name of the word. Old among the first books. Ucokerithia maathani. Apana, siyo. And how comes it's not in the Bible? Okay. Tugire ni question times. Tumesema ni masaa ya maswali. Kama mtaki tusome hiyo Deuteronomy, then tunaweza soma Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. Isaiah 37, 13 to 14. Njoke ndimwire kiria kiratuma tuthome ibuku riri Isaiah. Tomutirakenda kuria ciuria. Isaiah 13. Kai ndariganirwo. Ndawa Isaiah 13. Nimesema Isaiah 13 and then what? Ndimwitikirie kuriganirwo. Vizuri sana, nimekubalishwa kukataa, sahau. Mtu asikai kuambia twariganirwo niki. Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. Muda kana kuria ate ndwawe ni kuriganirwo. Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. 47, 13 to... I found it. Igakiuga atiriri. Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. Ona uhetwo mataro maingi uguo ri, utigitwo o utari na hinya, reke andu aku aria maraguraga na njata moke makuhonokie. Acio ni aria mathomaga uhoro wa njata, makagayani iguru icunje mwanya mwanya, na magakumenyithia maundu maria mari gukoragirira mweri o mweri. I repeat, Isaiah 47, 13 to 14. Igakiuga atiriri. Ona uhetwo mataro maingi uguo, utigitwo utari na hinya, reke andu aku aria maraguraga na njata moke makuhonokie. Acio nĩ arĩa mathomaga ũhoro wa njata, makagayania igũrũ icunjĩ mwanya mwanya, na magakũmenyithia maũndũ marĩa marĩ gũkoragĩrĩra mweri o mweri. I don't know why I read like that. I just felt like ndaigua tu ngĩenda gũthoma na shenanigans icio iria mathomaga nacio. No shenanigans iria andũ mathomaga nacio Bible. Ũndaga gũthoma na shenanigans. Rĩu kĩreke athome rĩega rĩa mũico. Isaiah 47:13-14. Ona ũhetwo mataro maingĩ ũguo, ũtigĩtwo o ũtarĩ na hinya, reke andũ aku arĩa maragũraga na njata moke makũhonokie. Acio nĩ arĩa mathomaga ũhoro wa njata, makagayania igũrũ icunjĩ mwanya mwanya, na magakũmenyithia maũndũ marĩa marĩ gũkoragĩrĩra mweri o mweri. Ndauga nĩ Isaiah 47, no ũthiĩ wĩthomere 13-14. Now, why am I talking about Isaiah 47:13-14? What time of day are we in? Tondũ no ũgĩkĩre thaa ya goro mũno, ta iria ngoragwo nacio. I have expensive watches. I'm a good collector of watches. If you have a timepiece, ũikorwo nĩ ũkorwo na thaa na ndĩthiaga na nĩ thaa ya tene ya guoko na ndĩthiaga. I have a lot of sentimental I don't have a lot of sentimental thing, but I do love collecting watches. So you can pass it to me. You can give me that watch that you don't wear. Okay? Now, when it comes to the time of day, aka harĩa tũrĩ ũmũthĩ ũyũ, nĩkĩo ndagũthomera maandĩko marĩa ũtũrĩte ũthomete, marĩa ũtũrĩte ũrũmĩrĩire, tondũ niĩ nyendaga tũgathiĩ na marĩa ũĩ. Sitaki nikuambie kitu haujui, nataka nikukumbushe unajua, but vile unajua si hivyo. The same book inakuambia it is a mysterious book. Ni kitabu imekuambia, so sijui mbona una ignoring na kitabu ishakuambia not to take things literally. Ni kitabu ndio imekuambia. So when it comes to the book of Isaiah, venye tumesema, Isaiah 47, na itafuta kwa, nimesoma na Kikuyu, so na itafuta kwa, nimepata, Isaias, Tanathi Hesirak, na Wisdom, Isaiah 47, Isaiah 47, tukingojea maswali. Tulisema ni Q&A, but hata kama ni Q&A tutakuwa tuna learn. Do you get it? Ni Q&A but tuna learn. Isaiah 47, shout out to Rebron Mureithi. Ruko ni ibuku igikinyira tene. Ona horo wa guthoma digital book ria mo ruha gutindaga na mouse. But it's not a bad thing, tondu ni ukoraga wina mabuku maingi muno ukuite in one laptop. Ruavatara a whole shelf. Like now my shelf is crying with the weight of books. And my laptop is also full of books. My basket is also full of books that I've written. I don't just read books, I write books. On my own, Isaiah 47, verse 13-14. Come on now. I found it. Thou art weird in thy counsels. Let now the astrologers of the heaven stand and deliver thee. Let them that see the stars tell thee what is about to come upon thee. That is the best verse you are going to, you can use today. That is the best verse. Kama kuna verse unafaa kuenda nayo for the next 3 months. For the next 3 months, your life should be about Isaiah 47, 13-14. For the next 3 months. Kama unaweza hiyo, utakuwa chonjo sana kulingana na what is happening in the world. Now tutoke hapo, tuanze live ya leo. Now, ukienda kwa Bible, utapata hii siku mnaitanga sabato, or Saturday, or Saturday, or whatever you want to call it. Na sabato or Saturday is often associated with discipline. Ndio maana on Saturday sabato unaambiwa keep ye holy the day of the Sabbath, ama that is the day you didn't even go to work. It's a day of restriction. So on Saturday you can't go to work. There's restrictions. It's a weekend. But in your now new world, you work every day. Nobody gives a shit about you. So Saturday is about trials, time. Okay? So when you go to the Bible, kwa sababu nimekuambia tuna read na kitabu yako, the book of Job, this is even how they came up with creating jobs for you. The book of Job in the Bible deals with suffering. The book of Job in the Bible deals with patience. The book of Job in the Bible deals with perseverance, where you're supposed to persevere under divine testing. Sijui Job alifanya nini. So, hiyo is not talking about Job as a person or the job you have well. It's talking about Saturn's influence, or what you call the Sabbath, ama hiyo siku mnaitanga Jumamosi. Ukienda kwa kitabu ya Escheretius, whatever you call it, hiyo nayo inaongeleanga about the passage of time, saying there's a time for everything. There's a time for planting and a time for inevitably death. So this resonates with Saturn's association with time and endings, the end of the week, weekend, Saturday. You are following? Law and judgment is another virtue by Saturn, because iko na hiyo restrictive nature. So this can be what now you call Moses' law. Moses' law, which was not a law, is what you call the Mosaic law. Mosaic law. So ukisikia Moses alienda akapewa the 10, awaongei about Moses, wanaongea about the Mosaic law. And what is the Mosaic law? The Mosaic law ndio emphasize order na kuenda jera, consequences for disobedience. Tunafuatana? Ukumbuke tumesema nini? Tuko kwa Bible. Tuko Isaiah 47 verse 13 to 14 for the next 3 months. So, kitu ya kwanza tumesema Jumamosi, Mutuaroru, Saturday, tukaicompare na nini? Tukasema first, the book of Job in the Bible is talking about Saturday, the Sabbath, because it's talking about patience. Job was patient. It's about persevering, kuomereria, and you are persevering under testing. You have been tested the whole week. Saturday unavumilia, ndio urudi kazi tena. So the book of Ecclesiastes ikiongelea maneno ya Sabbath ama Saturday inaongea about there's a time for everything. Tukiongea about law and judgment, Saturn ndio the Mosaic law. Tukiongea Moses. Okay? Tukiongea about Moses, tunaongea about the Mosaic law. Unaweza andika hapo, after hii live unaweza enda ukastudy the Mosaic law na vitu kama hizo. Now, kwa the same Bible, hiyo tumetoka Saturn. I want you to pay attention why I'm breaking it like this. Remember, this is supposed to be a Q&A. Already tuko Gemini hour, but the sun is in Gemini. So shout out to Gemini. The sun is already in Gemini. Moon bado inatoka pale Pisces. Should be still up on you talking. Yasa ingie Aries. Na shout out to the Geminis. We're about to come into your month. Oh my Geminis, oh my Sodom and Gomorrah people. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to Gemini season. Anyway. So now, when you go again back to that same book yenye imekufunga akili, baada ya kufungua, let's talk about Aries. Now Aries, this is the first sign of the zodiac. Ino ne bura yake hu. So this is associated with beginnings, otogoria, leadership, ama themes of new beginnings, themes of new leadership. Zakayo could be the last president you have before we usher in the new world order, where there'll be no presidents. There'll just be people residing over your countries. Ukumbuke hivyo. And also the fact that Okay, tusiingie maneno ya politics. So, when you go to the Bible, and it's talking about the book of Exodus. Okay, Exodus, movement of the people. So what was Exodus all about? Exodus was the story of the Israelites being delivered from where? From Egypt. Now, the word Egypt means slave. Never forget that. The word Egypt means slave. It's not a country. It's a slave mind. It's the people who like building for other people, building pyramids, but they don't have their name on top of those pyramids. They cannot claim those pyramids. So unasema pyramids yenyu, but hakuna mahali imeandikwa ni yenyu. But when you look into the world, we have the Burj Khalifa belongs to the what do we call these people? The Arabs. We have the Trump Towers. We have Unaget. So Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, or in our culture, buraya kehu, or what we talk about, or the theme of new beginnings. So in a new beginning, anything that is leadership can be linked to the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. So when the Israelites were being delivered from Egypt, now Egypt is not a land. Everything that we name on the external, create as a land, starts from internal. So we name these parts. We name, for example, you have a heart, right? As an organ. So outside of us, we have to come up with a location that has that kind of care and call it a name. Bethlehem. Na vitu kama hizo. You get it? So Egypt is nothing but a slave mind or a slave mentality. So on the story of the Exodus, when the Israelites were being delivered from Egypt, that marks a new beginning for the nation of Israel. Now, you are the walking cross. You are the star. So this is your story. Now, leave Exodus alone. I want to give you the context or from your Bible on the representation of what you call now Aries. Look at Joshua. Joshua took over after Moses, the Mosaic law and all that bullshit. So Joshua is courage. Joshua is initiative. There's a song. Joshua kerogama keheta niĩ na nyũmba yakwa yothe tũrĩ tungatagĩra Ngai ona inyuothe mwarega Ngai. So Joshua has that embodiment of courage or taking the initiative. Now, before I continue, I have to make sense again to you. Joshua here is not talking about a person, Joshua. So these are qualities that you're supposed to have. These are astrological qualities. That is why I told you this whole life is inspired by Isaiah 47, verse 13 to 14. We are talking astrology. It's written in the skies. Now, Joshua, when you go to the book of Joshua, he talks about, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. He's not talking about his house as his wife and children, his concubines, his horse and everything. No, he's talking about his houses in the sky, the 12 houses of your zodiac sign. As for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord. As for me, as my house lords, you have what you call house lords, will serve the Lord. You are going to serve yourself as Joshua. You use these house lords, the 12 signs in the sky, to serve yourself. Now, let's go to the ram in Genesis. When you go to Genesis 22, remember 2 plus 2 is 4. That's a thought form. Genesis, anything that is a beginning is called a Genesis. Genesis has got nothing to do with the Bible. Anything can be a Genesis. The Genesis of the Kikuyu, the Genesis of yourself, a beginning of something. Okay, so don't think it has everything to do with just the Bible. A Genesis means a beginning. So in Genesis 22, now remember 2, every number means something. Number 2 is letter B, a Bethel, a house. 2 is relating. 2 is being diplomatic or being gullible or being used. 2 plus 2 is 4, a thought. So, when you go into Genesis 22, there's a ram caught in the thicket. So this is Aries. So when Abraham wanted to sacrifice something, he wanted to sacrifice Isaac. Okay? So instead of sacrificing Isaac, he sacrifices Aries, the ram. Aries, the ram. Okay? Now, when you go to other books now in the same Bible, we can say that Saturn or Sabbath or what you call Jumamosi is linked to karma or a spiritual testing. That is why you even choose that day as the day for worship. Now remember, karma, there's nothing wrong with karma. Karma is action taken or inaction taken. So either when you take action or when you don't take action, you still have to deal with karma. So the lesson, karma. What you learn from that? Dharma. So karma or the spiritual testing is connected to Saturn. Now, Aries now, remember, Aries symbolizes that fiery energy, that fire energy, the divine will to start something. Bura yake hu na vitu kama hizo. So, right now, Satan goes into Aries, aka discipline, restrictions, time, goes into new beginnings, leadership, being assertive. So this is the time for you where you are being called to explore passages that deal with those themes. Those themes, aka discipline, restrictions, time. That's Saturn. Aries, new beginnings, leaderships, and assertiveness. Now, I leave that for you to do as homework, because this is a Q&A. I don't feel like teaching anything. Okay? I don't feel like teaching anything. So this is a Q&A. So venye tulisema, muulize maswali. We have a few minutes. Tukiendanga. This is not for today. I don't feel like teaching. I just want to learn with you. I'm saying I just want to learn with you. I just want to hear your questions. So anyone born between May 21 and June 21, shout out to all the Geminis in the house. Taurus inaishanga May 20. So my logo is no longer in the sky. Okay, my logo is no longer in the sky. Right now what is in the sky is Gemini season. Shout out to all my Geminis. Shout out to all the Geminis in the house. Happy flights day to all the Geminis. Okay. Kuna mtu anauliza veganism kama ni a healthy lifestyle. Now, the moment you start asking about healthy or whether something is healthy or unhealthy, ushaingia kwa filters za the people who run you or the people who rule this world, because what can be healthy for you can be death for someone else. Hakuna kitu healthy or unhealthy. Everything is about indulging. How much are you indulging in that thing? Anything that can be good for you can also be bad for you. Now, when it comes to veganism, we are talking of vegetation. Now, that's a very good question, actually. When you talk of food, you have to know first that the best food you can eat for yourself as a human being is another human being. Like, before we even go into morality and what or not and everything, the best food for a human being is another human being. Because if you were to do that, that would go and replenish the same organs that you have. But since hatuwezi kulana, Okay, tunaweza kulana lakini hiyo si kukulana hiyo. Hapa tunaongea maneno ya kukulana as in food. But since we can't do that, and shout out to all the people who used to do cannibalism, we looked for alternatives. Now these alternatives would have to look things like cow, and there's a reason even why when a woman gives birth, what does the woman give the child? The woman breast, keyword, breast feeds. She doesn't breast drink. The woman doesn't breast drink the child. The woman breastfeeds. That child is feasting, is being fed from the breast. Now, what is the breast? The breast is a mammary gland that produces what? It produces what you call milk, but it's not milk. It's pus. Mahira, pus. Unaona mahira? Pus. Ndio maana kwa ng'ombe munaita githana. But when it comes to the cow, the first milk that the cow produces ndio inapeangwa calf. After hiyo inakamuliwa. The same way, when a woman gives birth, the first milk that comes out of her breast iliareu ni some type of pus. So mtoto anakula mamake, but akuli mamake direct. Anakula mamake in terms of pus. I sent an invite without meaning to send an invite, but it's okay. Nimeenda kubrowse nini hapa kuangalia kwa nini hakuna activity kwa screen, nikasema invite. That was not the intention. So when a child is breastfeeding, the child is drinking pus from the mother. Mahira, okay? Hiyo mahira ndio inamunourish. Kwa sababu mtoto ndio akue, ile kitu anaweza kula imemkaribia ni mamake, lakini juu hawezi kula mamake, anakula some form of pus from her mother. Nyi mnaita breast milk. Okay? It's pus, ni mahira. It has a collection of other things, sijui colostrum, all that language that they like decorating ndio muwatambue ati wako na PhD na wako na university. It's just crap. They don't mean anything. Okay? Now, when you talk of veganism now, because this is related to that question of veganism. Veganism, you are talking of eating plants. Plants. Now, you are made of 75% water. So the best thing that should be feeding on yourself is something that is closely related to water. In this case, plants have a lot of water inside them. So that is the only thing that makes veganism like it's a healthy lifestyle, just because when you're eating a lot of fruits, you are eating a lot of water. Ukichukua paipai, ublend, itakuwa maji. Ukichukua popo, ublend, itakuwa maji. Ukikula banana, ni maji. Like fruits are basically water. That is the only thing advantageous with veganism. Haina nutrients. In fact, anyone who is on a vegan diet hawezi kuwa stronger than anyone who is on a meat diet, because you are more made of meat or flesh and bone than you are made of plants. You get it? Haya. On that context, kuna mtu atasema ati look at the baboons. The baboon have muscles. The buffaloes have muscles. The zebra have muscles, and all they eat is plant. When you start speaking like that, you are being stupid, because you cannot compare yourself to an animal. Okay? When it comes to their digestive system, your digestive system have shifted. You don't chew your cud. And animals chew their cud. So, shout out to Linda. The reason the animals are chewing their cud is because once they ingest their food into their stomachs, the food goes to one of the chambers. Hii ni ile wenye mlisoma biology. I don't have to go back into other, though I know everything. So when the food gets stored in one of the chambers, it is the same concept. That is why you even came up with silage. Wachani kuonanga wazungu ni kama ni wajanja kualiko. Use your brains. When you store silage, unachukuanga nyasi, unakatakata, unaweka hizo microbiotics, whatever munamwagilianga hizo silage niyo muzistore. It is the same way. The cow cuts the grass, inaweka mate yake, inaweka silage yake ya tumbo, it stores in one of his tumbos, then ina regurgitate, chewing the cud, inakula hiyo food, inakuwa already broken down by the microbes in the stomach to be healthy for the cow. It is the same shit as you taking silage, unaenda unaweka microbes, unazika kwa mchanga, mali haipati hewa, the same way kwa tumbo ya ng'ombe ipati hewa. Do you get it? That is now what makes it more, gives it the cows, the muscles that now the cows have, or the zebras, or the baboons. It has got nothing to do at any vegan, so because it's a baboon, iko na mass triangles, so I'm going to eat fruits and I'm going to be stronger. Wake up from that stupid mentalities ya regurgitation. Wewe una regurgitate kitu umeambiwa. Juu mtu amekuja amekuambia hapa ametoka Kari, Kenya Agricultural Research Institute. Sasa unamtambua. After you went in debt with student debts, kitu unafaa kujionea na ng'ombe, si kitu ya kusoma. Shout out to Saturn in Aries. It's a new world. Kuamuka ni by force sasa. Now, so when you understand that as a vegan, it's not even about what you are feeding on. As a human being, the best thing you can feed on is another human being. But since you can't eat another human being, you look for alternatives. So the best alternatives to humans was something made of flesh. So you turn it to the cows. Okay? You couldn't afford to let the chicken be on its way. You can never allow a chicken to cross the road. Now you have to turn it into a KFC. Okay? Now every chicken that is supposed to be crossing the road becomes food on your table because you are trying to eat what is closest to you. The same way a child suckles on the mother's breast, not because the mother's breast has got milk, but because the mother's breast is producing what is called pus. Mahira. Nyi munaibatiza munaita colostrum. Unasema hii ndio mzuri na mtoto. So that's why you can say, oh my God, I'm a vegan. Oh my God, I can't do meat. Hiyo ni another thing that you are given to mislead you. And shout out to Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sebi, may his soul rest in peace. Okay? Dr. Sebi, he did it wrong. Angejua those are not his friends. Okay? And when you need to do these things, you need to create a community. Otherwise, if you do it alone, ukikufa ni hivyo. Kama angekuwa amebuild community, hiyo kitu ingeendelea. Nisikia mtu akisema ati, oh, let's go and see the pyramids in Egypt. The pyramids were nothing but a place for people to collect together. They were giving you the time. The same way pyramid yenyu mumeuza. Bomas of Kenya ndio your pyramid hapa. Never forget that. Taujui kwa nini mlijenga Bomas mkaitengeneza ikiwa round. Pyramid si lazima ikue juu ya mchanga. Inaweza kuwa ni ya pyramid scheme. Ama hujaijua hivyo? Ama hujaijua Bomas of Kenya ndio your pyramid scheme? Hizo handshake zote zinaenda kutengenezewa hapo. Shit is spiritual, but hatuko hapo. So next question. Tumejibu hiyo. Shout out to Curio and Crazy. This is a Q&A. Specific, I don't feel like teaching. I just want to remind you of things based on your questions. In any case, my way of teaching has changed now. I'm no longer going to be teaching the old way. So that's gone. Saturn in Aries. No more teaching like that. So maybe we'll be doing Q&A, or we do physical meetups the way we used to do soul group meetups. That way I can go deep without having to worry about these people copying everything and making lessons out of this and selling them and shadow banning us on something we have said and then pushing those things for other people after they have used the AI to distort everything. Copycats. Nowadays there's so much about diet. Mara usikule carbs, mara usitumie seed oils. For anyone who's saying that, they are doing that because, anyway, eat whatever you want. I'm into fitness, you know that. You know Body by Richie is one of my companies. Gym management and personal training. So when it comes to food, okay, I can advise you better. But this is not the platform for that. For that, you have to go to my other platforms. Mara fruits are full of sugar. Sugar is nothing but glucose. If you want to never make these things complicated. When someone talks of sugar in fruits, what is he talking about really? He's talking about glucose. What does glucose do? Glucose gives you a burst of energy. And after some times, it goes down. It goes down. So when you are feeling really hungry, you can snack on a fruit. You can snack on that glucose. But that's not food. That's like a boost of energy. You're still going to need food. Sindio? So ask the questions. Wanja is asking which other platforms. I'm on YouTube, Jenga na Jenga. The word Jenga, Jenga, Jenga na Jenga. Then my name Jenga, Njenga. I'm on LinkedIn as Body by Richie. I'm on IG as Body by Richie. I'm also on IG as Jegawa Modaka. Facebook, I have 5 pages. I have Jegawa Modaka Mbili. I have pages in Facebook. I have Body by Richie, that's a business page. Body by Richie. I have Fix It Richie. That's also on Facebook. Fix It Richie deals with what you, for lack of a better word, I can connect you to anyone or anything that you want, as long as it's within what you call law for you. Within the law, in what you call, the law does not exist for me. For me, it's about cause and effect. Because laws can be bent. Okay? You can have people burning in churches, nothing can be done. You can have people shot in the head, protesting outside parliament, nothing can be done. You can have one gangster, MP shot, people are in jail. So the law doesn't work for me. It's cause and effect. Okay? I'm in your world, but I'm not of this world. I'm in your world, but I'm not of this world. Just here to have an experience. This is a school of life, nothing more. Shout out to the computer saying or agreeing tong for no reason. Shout out to Ajawa Magire. It's a Q&A Thursday. Simuuliza maswali. My guys, ask questions. Ask any question. I know everything, like I said. I know everything. Brother, huwezi kuwa unajua kila kitu, try me. I dare you, try me. Wrestle with God, try me. Hufai kujaribu Mungu? No, the best people who won in this life are the people who try God. And my God is not your concept of God. My God is all possibility, not your punishing God. Okay? Not the God that tells you that you do not covet your neighbor's wife. May I fuck my neighbor's wife? Okay? Because I understand what that means. Because even the word wife doesn't mean what it says in the Bible. A wife is just an emotion that you have, a specific emotion that you have. Okay? So when you say, do not covet thy neighbor's wife, it's just telling you, when you have a thought, you should not join that thought to that emotion, because it may not end up the way you want it. For example, let's call dancing a wife. Okay? Let's call smoking good weed. I have to insist on good weed. You are smoking a lot of GMO shit. Let's say smoking good weed and also call it a wife. Because all these are feelings that you can get. When you dance, you feel good. When you smoke the triple goddess plant, only smoke the triple goddess plant, which is weed, which you have to prepare for. You have to wash first. You have to meditate first. Then you need to have an intention before you smoke that joint. If you don't have all those intentions, leave it to the birds. So let's say you have the dancing wife. That's a feeling. Let's say you have a smoking some good weed as another wife. Now, let's say you have a thought, okay? You have a thought, and your thought is to go to, let me see, I don't have to give people credit for no reason. Let's just give them credit because the place is green. Let's say you want to go to Tigoni. That's a thought. So, you want to go to Tigoni, and you have two wives. One is dancing, and the other one is smoking. So, do not covet thy neighbor's wife. So, when you take your thought and you mix it with smoking, so you are smoking as you go to Tigoni, that's a good thing. The vibes, okay, whoever you have as a passenger, maybe you have your hand on their thighs, okay, it's a beautiful woman, okay, like Wanja na vitu kama hizo. So that's a good marriage. Your thought is working with one of the wives, in this case, smoking, and the thought is driving to Tigoni. Now, if you are to try mix the two, so you are smoking and trying to dance, unaachilia steering, something can happen. So now that becomes you coveting your neighbor's wife. Do you get it? Do you get it? That is what it means. So ukikuja hapa kuniambia, unajua the Bible says do not covet your neighbor's wife. No, Pastor Nganga is fucking all those women in church. Men are not even monogamous or polygamous, tukianzia hapo. But that's not where we should be. Linda anasema, how should one also approach a mushrooms experience? It's best if, there was another question. How many grams of mushrooms and which type of mushroom is best for a good experience? I would suggest 5 grams of the scientific name is psilocybin. No, 5 grams I think inaweza kupeleka sana. You can start with 4 grams, though you can increase. Start with 3 grams, but you should have someone to guide you. I would suggest you have someone who's good at this to guide you. So you start with 3 grams. Then the moment the effect starts to kick in, you can increase to 4 grams and then 5 grams. 5 grams will give you a good trip. Now, keyword, I'm not suggesting that people do this. Ndio maana nimesema ni a trip, because some people need to be guided on this trip by a shaman. Shout out to shamans, or what do you call these people? Alchemists. Shout out to all my alchemists. However, for some people, it's necessary so that you can break down that ego. Now, juu tumeuliza maneno ya mushrooms, let me go a little bit deeper on that. When you take mushrooms, so for this context, kwa sababu ya TikTok na algorithm ya TikTok, you know I grow oyster mushrooms. All of you know I grow oyster mushrooms. So nitajifanya naongea maneno ya oyster mushrooms, but siongelee hivyo. So for you to consume oyster mushrooms, you know I'm the best farmer when it comes to oyster mushrooms. The other mushrooms, apart from the oyster mushrooms, sasa zile naongelelea, what happens when you take them, they attack your brain. So I'm breaking it down for the people who don't understand. Even the people who take you on these trips, hawajuangi nini na happen. Saa zile unakula mushrooms, what you are doing is destroying your brain cells. Destroying your brain cells. Now, when you are destroying your brain, keyword, cells. Cells. Destroying your brain cells. Cells, tukiongea sasa, let's get deeper. Cells, you talk of battery cells. I don't like people who are close-minded on my channel. We talk of battery cells. We talk of being in jail cells. Na vitu kama hizo. So, these mushrooms attack your brain cells. So, this could be your cells of bondage, blockages. So, basically, it attacks all your brain cells and destroys them. Now, your brain repairs instantly. instantly. Tutakuja hapo kwa positive ones. That's why you need a shaman, so that when you destroy the old, you need new ones to come in. New ones that are aligned to you. Otherwise, you may destroy them, and everything that you purge or take out, you leave an empty space. So unaweza take a mushroom trip, and this is what happens to most of you, where whatever you purge, whatever cells you break down, whatever mental thoughts escape your jail cells, you allow more negative bullshit to come in, especially based on the people who are guiding you on these psychedelic trips. Most of them are based or led on profit alone. So whoever is guiding you, his aura or whatever is around him, anafikiria tu venye utamaliza hiyo trip, umwambie unataka ingine akudhokome. You get it? So yake is bent on profit. So una purge out the old. So the open space that you are leaving, that should be having something good coming in, what comes in? Negative bullshit. Bullshit of wanting more money or wanting more of this artificial world that you are in. That's why you need someone who's an alchemist or someone who's a shaman, mwenye anajua that you are breaking down those walls. And ni kama tu it's like when you're doing a shedding ritual. Every time you do a shedding ritual, remember, you are leaving an open space, so you need something fresh to come in. When you do a banishing ritual, kuna kitu umetoa, so you have to go into a gratitude kind of ritual to say thank you and to invite abundance and gratitude come back to you. You get what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying I have to change how I'm teaching now, because you cannot be teaching these kind of things on the internet for people to copy and use AI and come up with programs, because I've been seeing a lot of my programs on YouTube on sale. Naingia kwa YouTube nasikiza mtu hivi, I'm like, wait a minute, this person must have had that, because the way I put it lazima tu, and then I go and I find huyu hata ni mtu unifollow. These are people who follow you, copycats, European mentalities, and colonizer mindset. So when these oyster mushrooms that I grow, which are the best in the world for eating, I'm the best mushroom farmer on this planet. When now you take those mushrooms zenye mnaongelea, ukikula kwa brain inaendanga ina destroy brain. Now what is happening? Sasa hii unaitanga trip. Hii unaonanga all these colors, unaona mavitu mingi. What is happening? Your brain is repairing very fast. Repairing, taking forming what you call new neuropaths. Nitanga neuropaths. So your brain is forming new neuropaths. So those neuropaths, when they are forming, is now when you have that trip. You see shit. You see your ego dissolving, aka you see those rules and structures ulikuwa umejiwekea zikidissolve. Hapo ndio unaanza kuona hiyo bullshit ulikuwa na mentality yake hapo, ati a man was made for one woman in a dissolve, all those bullshit that all those mosaic laws za Moses in a dissolve when you take that trip. It's a very beautiful trip, but you need to be guided all the way to Bangi. Hata Bangi mnafaa kuwa guided. Bangi mnafaa kuwa guided. In fact, weed, oyster mushrooms, the best oyster mushrooms that I grow in the world. Okay, I'm the best oyster mushroom farmer in the world. Weed, the weed that grows in your shamba, competing with everything. I'm doing this for the algorithm. Unajua ile mimi naongelea ile weed ingine triple goddess. All these things are in the same class. Na acid hakuna yenye imepita ingine. They got the same level. So this is what happens. When you smoke the triple goddess plant, hiyo mnaitanga weed, inakuonyeshanga more of who you are. So when you smoke weed, it just shows you more of who you are. It's like a reflection. It heightens whatever state of mind you are. If you're in a state of mind of bullshit, heighten bullshit. If you're in a state of mind of laziness, inakuonyesha laziness. If you're in a state of mind of munchies, you want more. So munchies is just you wanting more. Now, juu tuko hapa, let me explain it deeper. Let me explain munchies on a spiritual level so that you get it. Ni sawa? So that you get it. When you get munchies, this is spiritual shit. Let me dive into it. So, side video. I hope they are not screen recording this one. Yeah, I have safe spaces for these oyster mushrooms experience. if you are interested, tunaweza fika huko. Ndio maana nimesema tutakuwa tuna have na physical we'll be having physical meetups again, soul group, where we can talk about these things kama tuko kwa internet. Mwenye anajua soul group anajua soul group, mwenye ataki akae. Let's talk about munchies spiritually now. Wale watu wanavutanga bangi, leteni viti hapa karibu. I tell you what exactly is happening. Sasa unapika ugali, usifikirie tu ni highness. Are you ready? Na kama uko nayo, usiwashe saa hizi, unaweza washa in exactly 30 minutes, itakuwa 11:11. So please, if you can hold it until 11:11, inaweza kuwa vizuri sana. Jiko pia 11:11 is spiritual. Now, wewe, when you get hungry, wewe ujaijiambia uko na njaa. Wewe kuhisi njaa. Wewe uhisi njaa. Kuhisi njaa is what you call intuition. Intuition. You don't tell yourself you are hungry. It happens automatically. Like, na nimesikia njaa. Kwanza unasemanga ni kusikia. Remember, unasikianga na roho yako, si masikio. Otherwise, kusikia njaa unasikianga kwa masikio yako. Wewe ushaenda ukapita mahali ukasema, ati hiyo ni nini? Hiyo ni njaa inapiga kelele hapo, nimehisi njaa. Have you ever done that? So understand that you listen with your heart. That is why the word heart has the word ear in the beginning. It depends on where you put the T or the H. Okay? You listen with your heart. Your heart is a brain. You have 3 brains. You have the brain in your head, and you have your heart, and you have your gut instinct. Mtu asikai kuambia uko na akili moja, uko na akili 3. Nasikia mtu kuambia use your 5 common senses. Those are common senses. The 5 common, those are the common. But there are many. They are not even 7. But the common ones are actually 7. Like the 7 spheres, the 7 cycles, the 7 days of the week na nonsense kama hizo. Wachana, yuko tuko huko. You have 3 brains. Your heart, my heart was saying no. But my body was saying yes. Now you are in jail. Shout out to Arakeri. His heart was saying don't fuck a kid. His body was saying fuck a child. No pun intended. So you have 3 brains. Your brain, your heart, and your gut instinct. Ndio ninakwambianga hapa nimekasikia kwa tumbo si poa. So when you get munchies, every time you smoke weed, okay? Weed puts you in that state of reflecting something to you. Now, that reflection back to you is to heighten you or take you higher. Everything that heightens you means it's taking you higher. And when you are going higher, it means you are lighter. Lighter as in weight. More expanded. Unasema mazee niko high, nimechoma. So, when you are lighter, you have shed. When you have shed, you need to put something in. Now, you are getting high in your physical body. So, you need to put something in your physical body. AKA munchies. Okay? Munchies. Now, here's the spiritual part. Whenever you get hungry, wewe mwenyewe, inakuanga ni intuition. Ukuangi umepanga. Intuition kicks in, you're like, shit, I'm hungry. And shout out to everyone who saw the portals yesterday. Did you see the rainbow jana? Ama muliona tu rainbow. For you, just saw a rainbow. Saturn in Aries. We are in a new world. We had a double rainbow yesterday. Mulisema ni mvua, si ndio? Kuna rainbow. Oh my God, come and look at this. A rainbow is a bridge between the 2 spiritual realms. Never forget that. If you see a rainbow, Jenga, stick to the point, okay? I have too many points, you know. Let me try and stick to the point. What point? Who gives a shit about the point? I'm having self-conversations. Have conversations with yourself. So, when now you are high in the physical, your body, you feel the need to put something. So, automatically your intuition tells you to eat. To eat. Now, you eat beyond what you want. Why? It has been heightened. You are too high, so you need to come too low. You need to eat a lot of food. And that is the spiritual experience or explanation of the munchies that you get when you smoke weed. Okay? Now, let me take you deeper. Because I don't want you to say, oh my God, you took us to the river, you left us there, you didn't teach us how to make a cup to drink. Now pay attention. I'm the cup maker. I'm the king of cups. So, Wewe, when you feel hungry, this is why you do fasting. The people who tell you about fasting, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just regurgitating what they have learned online or wherever. When you feel hungry, hunger, when you feel hunger, shout out to the Hunger Games. Every time you feel hunger, it's your intuition. It's when you are closest to God. Because remember, it's not you telling yourself to eat. It's not you telling yourself to eat. It's your body deciding it needs something. In this case, food. So this is not you thinking. It's not your brain that tells your body we have to eat. No, you feel hungry. So when you feel hungry, that is when you are closest to source. That is when you are closest to God, spiritually speaking. AKA, when you are hungry, at that particular moment, you are tapping into your most basic instinct. Instinct. And instinct, intuition, is when you are closest to the spirit. Do you get it? You get the connection? So now, at that particular moment, when you're close to the spirit, when you want to eat, remember, when you smoke weed, you get the munchies you want to eat because now weed has taken you closest to source as a spirit now. As a spirit of all possibilities. But now it becomes for you a point of all possibilities where the next thing you want is a pancake, is pork, is ugali, is eating chips, or what you call the munchies. But at that particular moment when you're having munchies, you are closest to your instinct, or closest to source, or what you want to call God or all possibility. Now imagine kama baada ya kuenda kwa munchies, ungekuwa first, ulikuwa umeshawa, you had put some important herbs in your bath, umeweka some pink Himalayan salts, umeweka some lavender. If you want lavender, I have lavender. Umeweka eucalyptus. If you want eucalyptus, I have dried eucalyptus leaves. Uwezi maliza. Okay, I can give you eucalyptus branches to hang in your showers. Ukifungulia shower hizo branches after a week una change. Okay, the original eucalyptus. I live next to the forest hapa. If you don't want to buy from me, unaweza ingia barabara ya kuenda Kerwa. Ukienda ni kama unaenda Kari, Kenya Agricultural Research Institute, upite hiyo gate, upite hiyo miti mlipandiwa na wazungu juu mwezi panda miti. Ukienda hivyo huko chini kwa hiyo uwanja, upite hiyo Kikuyu High School, utapata eucalyptus, those ones. If you don't want to buy from me, fuel your car, go and get them for yourself, okay? Toka hapa. So, when you're in that position where you eat now the munchies, that is when you are closest now to the intentions you had set before you smoked. Shout out to all my people who know how to practice sex magic. Who can smoke before sex and during sex with the right intentions. You can travel because that is, sex is the greatest energy for creation. Number 6, that is why 6 rhymes with sex. And you don't have just to have sex and create during the physical. You can create in your mind. Okay? Now, shout out to my sexy people out there. And shout out to my handsome moderator. And all the other people in the comments. So, the munchies that you get when you smoke weed is because at that particular moment, shout out to the Romanian. At that particular moment, you are closest to your instinct. Where nimekukumbusha, wewe ukikula, you don't decide you want to eat. Hunger just kicks in. Instinct, you're like, shit, I have to eat. So it's not your brain that tells your body, no. It's source, kama wataka kuita source, or nature, or God. The same way, a lion will be sleeping in Masai Mara and decide, shit, we have to eat. Si njaa wanasikianga, ni instinct. Na hiyo instinct is kicked in because within the lion's quarters, kumekuja a weak animal. Never forget that. Oh, lions are very good hunters. No. God provides. So God will always allow an animal that is weak-minded, Okay? A black sheep within the family to be grazing with the other animals near the lions, and the lions pick that animal. Ati the animals, ati unasikiza documentary, ati the lions, they are selecting one of them. You can no, they are not selecting. They are picking the weak one out. Inaitangwa natural selection. Okay? It's called natural selection. It's in nature. The same wewe unaendanga kwa shamba ya maembe au kulangi ile maembe jaiva, unatakanga yenye imeiva. Why? It's weak. Iko karibu kuanguka, hata ndio maana unatingisha mti inaanguka, unakula inatoa hiyo mbegu. Juu imeripen. Au kulangi yenye jaripen, hiyo ndio inaitangwa natural selection. You are picking the weak fruits, the one that have high. You guys, you have to wake up to the real world. Mutaacha hii artificial mindset ya kufunzwa vitu na mjui what you are learning. So for you think you pick a fruit because no, you pick a fruit because it's about to fall to the ground, and you are eating it quickly so that that seed can dry quickly, so that God can blow wind on top of that seed ndio imee tena. Nature, aminism, speculative before objective, or spiritual before the physical. Ama uende uka Google Scholar, or you can go and Google School Ninja, or you can go and watch National Geographic. Lions are brave. Lions are brave na zinanyang'azwa wanyama na Masai. Ama Masai yako na nguvu kuliko lion. Lion nakuanga imeshiba. Na tena lion inajua Masai anakuja hapa. The aura of the Masai is not leaking of weakness. Endo upeleke Masai yako na mashida hapo ule venye atakuliwa na hizo simba. You get it? Often invites you to co-host with one other creator. I don't want to co-host with you guys. There's nothing you can teach me. Decline. Nyinyi endeni mkaimbe one time na huko. Nataka kuni-invite nini? Where are we? Can you remind me? Remember, this is a Q&A. We are going by your questions. To eat, to feel the light space created. Yes. To nourish it. I didn't want to be in the space. Could you have a session? Yeah, that one will do. Destroying all negative. What was the question? Oh, ile ya wanja ya kuapproach mushrooms. So, hiyo wanja nimetuleta mpaka huko kwa bangi. Sasa nimewaambia maneno mingi sana. Sikuwa nafaa niwaambie maneno mingi sana ya bangi hivyo. But now you get it. You get where the munchies come from now, eh? You get that when you get the munchies because you are closest to instinct, which kicks in without you telling yourself, which is closest to the spirit or the overall or what you call God. Okay? Why do I go on deep sleep and remember nothing after the blunt? That's a very good question. Why you go into a deep sleep? Remember what I said. Saa hizi tu. Nikasema, when you shed, when you go high, light, when you shed a lot. So you have a lot of open space that need to be covered or a lot of things have to come in to go into that space. So you are put into a deep sleep for creation to happen, just like Adam was put in a deep sleep for his rib. In this case, it's not talking about the rib, mbavu, yenye kurarua hapo ngamba ukikula. No, rib is a protection. The work of the ribs is to protect your organs. Never forget that. Your ribs on your skeletal bones are there to protect the vital organs, your heart, your lungs. Mbavu zako hazina kazi ingine. So, ribs are there to protect the organs. So when you go into a deep sleep, your organs are receiving downloads, whether you had an intention or you didn't have an intention. That is why you are put on a deep sleep, so that something new can be created. Sawa sawa? Okay? And shout out to Empress Goddess. What of football? What's its meaning in souls and emotion? Au unatutoa mbali sana. What do you mean souls and emotion and football? Football is nothing but a checkered board or the mason's floor. Okay? Or the black and white, or the divide and conquer, or me versus you. Otherwise, tungekuwa tushapata mshindi. Okay? Now, football is deep because football, there's a lot of witchcraft happening in football based on the jerseys, the number they put on the people's t-shirts. Okay? Energy is carried in numbers. So let's say ask yourself why Michael Jordan was wearing jersey number 23. Okay? Jersey number 23. 23 is 5. What is 2? 2 is relating. What is 3? Relating to your surroundings. What is 5? Which is also a seal. 5 is a seal. I won't go too into that. I don't want to talk about sports because we can have our own sports that don't involve competing. Sports should not be about competing. Sports should be about you coming up with something that works better than the other, not competing. But you are lost in their world. Shout out to the lost worlds. Okay? So I don't want to go into football. But if you want, you can come up to the soul group one day and you can ask that question and I can go deeper into it. If I was to sit down with you and watch a football match, I would spoil the match for you. Because I would tell you who's going to pick an injury from the lineup, who's going to be substituted, who's likely to score, who's likely to have more ball possession based on the numbers alone, and the day that they are playing the game, and the colors of the team. Okay? Footballers wanatumiangwa venye unatumianga checkerboard. Unaona venye unaekanga checkerboard unacheza kadi, dama, ama the same way you play dama ndio footballers huchezwa. Ndio ni wao wako kwa uwanja but wanachezwa behind the scene, they are being played. Their energies, their mentalities, their names. Unapewa jazi namba fulani but your name is jina fulani. Umepewa hiyo jina ndio imeandikwa kwa t-shirt. So you are anyway. Forget about that. Let's come to the 3D. I don't want to go too high for you. Don't want to go into the... Wacha tukae hapa kwenyu. Leave my world is beautiful. If I take you to my world, you go and you munaichafua. Let's stay in this ugly world where there is order out of chaos. Okay? These are don't ignore the physical world. Don't ignore the 3D. The 3D is there for a reason. You are here to learn. This is a school of life. Okay? That's why most of you are dying young. Because you are telling your hearts that you don't want to come here. You have to come back here. Kuna mahali pengine utaenda. You're only going to leave this realm when you have picked all your stones. Like Thanos. Or like Sonic the Hedgehog. All that allegory of Sonic the Hedgehog. Thanos, Infinity Stones, okay, Super Mario. You have to, this is a game of life. Huwezi ruka Super Mario, game, pium, pium, pium. Unaenda ukiruka hizo stages because ukifika huko mwisho utapanta. What? There was a shield I should have picked on level 2 that I don't have that could help here. Life ni kama video game. Cheza vilivyo, okay? You want to get pussy, get a good pussy. Get the best pussy. You want to get some dick, go get some quality dick. This is a school of life. You want to manifest like a shit. Staki watu wako na weak mindset hapa. Mi kwanza ukikuja kwangu na poor mindset tutasikizana. Okay? If you can be unfair in business to get ahead, get unfair. It's not what you do, it's how you do. The people who run the world are not there fairly. Atuongei maneno ya morality. Morality, that's another issue. As long as you are not hurting anyone, it's okay. If you can scam AI, if you can scam online, scam. Even the people who rule you are scammers. Otherwise, explain to me why you have to pay for water or electricity and it's free. Or why you need to have some kind of visa to go to another country, but there's no border. Rivers have no borders, air, animals. But it comes to you have to be stamped some imaginary paper and stamp for you to go to another country. Scammers and pay. Bullshit. And the world belongs to no one and you have no land. Just a bunch of scammers. Okay? Is that a rainbow in the sky? Oh, what a refreshing view you have there. It was yesterday. We had a double view of a rainbow yesterday. You can see it from wherever. I have said the rainbow is a bridge You see how it's shaped? That is a bridge between this portal or these worlds or between other worlds. When you see a rainbow, all you understand that that is a portal. That is a bridge between this plane and another plane. Whether you know it or you don't know it, it doesn't matter. Whether you are going to use it or you're not going to use it, it doesn't matter. The fact remains a portal is open. But for you, ukiona rainbow, unafikiria unicorn. Oh my God, I have a unicorn. Oh my God, look at my unicorn. It's a rainbow. No, it's LGBT. Nonsense. It's a portal. It's a portal. Welcome to Saturn in Aries. So my people, you better wake up. Okay? I'm waiting for you to see. I want to see changes with you guys. Okay? Otherwise, we have to grow together. If you're not growing together, what are we even doing together? Okay? Why even wasting time together if you're not growing together? Okay? Natoka hapa 11:11. So you have 9 more minutes of questions. If you want, you can request as a guest also. If you want, you can request as a guest and come here, say hi. I know you are wounded. I know someone said you don't mean anything. You are ugly. You are not ugly. You can request. Oh, you have I have fear of speaking in public. Who made you feel small that you can't speak? Who said you don't know anything? Can you reject anyone who ever told you that you don't know anything? You know everything. Okay? You know everything. Mtu asikai kuambia ujui. If you didn't know anything, you would not be on this world. You not have come out of your mother's earth. Ungejiabot we mwenyewe. Kama huko na skills za kukuja huku. The same way a mother procures an abortion. Not because it is her who procures the abortion. It is the baby who decides they cannot survive in this world. And the baby is more spiritual. So the baby forces the mother, hata kama atachukua waya aweke huko ndani atoke. So I don't want anyone on my page telling me ati yako hapa na alitoa mimba. Hakuna mimba ulitoa wewe. Okay? The spirit never wanted to come back to this world. No one should make you feel guilty ati ulitoa ball. In fact, ukisikia kutoa ball, I highly encourage it. Instead of bringing that stupid bastard here atusumbue. But I'm not here for anyone hurting anyone. This is for learning purposes only. If you are scared, you can go to church. Unaweza enda kwa Pastor Nganga akuombee ama Pastor Kanyari akuweke finger. We don't care. It's his fingers. Unaweza chukua pesa yako upeleke pastor baada ya kudonate hapa ama kununua data kwenye unaweza saidika. Si ni maisha yako? To each his own. We have 7 minutes of questions. Nisema sitaki kufunza, nataka maswali. Panaona maswali yenu venye nafanya to learn. You see, your questions bring a lot of learning. So ask your questions. Jumi nikisema ni kuwafunza mtaumwa na kichwa. Especially now. If I was to dive deep right now into the information that I have, most of your heads mutalipuka kichwa be like, fuck man, that's such a mind fuck. Nimechoka. Sitaki mchoke. Okay? Should be at 50,000 likes, not a mere 30,000 up. I don't deserve 30k likes. Hizo ni nini sasa? Your ancestors are silent because they were silent ancestors. They are observers. Or maybe they were destroyed. Okay? You could be coming from ancestors who are weak. The same way you see in today's world, we have weak people. We had weak ancestors. The same way today you see stupid people. We had stupid ancestors. Never forget that. But you could be the clever one. The fact that you're on my channel right now means you are the ancestors your ancestors were waiting for. So they are clapping for you. Shout out to you. Your ancestors are actually very proud of you for being here. So they are like, they were quiet, but you're not quiet. You're asking the right questions. Okay? Shout out to you for asking the right questions. There's nothing wrong with determining that you come from weak parents who never became anything in life, but you came to life, you bought a matatu, ukanunua shamba, ukajenga, ukatuma watoto wako ng'ambo. You don't hate your parents. They did the best they could. Think about the same way. Even your ancestors did the best they could. Now you are here. Do better. Open your mouth chakra. Open your throat chakra. Speak. Don't be like your weak ancestors. Now, how can I activate my ancestral strength? That's a very good question. This is the thing. You have to stop assuming that you came from a human mind. You may be walking in a human body right now, but stop assuming that you came from a being that looks like you. You go to the Bible, you say that angels fell. Maybe you fell from one of the angels' thoughts into a human being. Have you thought about that? So maybe you are calling on weak ancestors because you think your ancestors are like the prehistoric man who didn't know how to use fire. Yet you come from angels that could bring fire, or dragons, or those kind. So if you want to activate your ancestral strength, don't even call them ancestors. Tap into your spiritual predecessor. The spiritual predecessor that was there before you. Nimesema spiritual predecessors wakakuja kwa nyumba. Okay? They are here now. They are looking at me like, yeah. Talk, Jenga, talk. Hata ndio hao wanakimbizana. 2 geckos. They have come let me show you. Before you say I'm but now why do I don't have to show you. Don't have to show you. I have 2 geckos that are chasing each other hapa kwa nyumba. Geckos come out darkness. Geckos inakujanga na giza. They like staying in darkness. They don't come to the light unless it's dark. Hizi mekuja zinakimbizana. So when I talked about the ancestors, this came from the dark. So think of your ancestors as spiritual predecessors that were there before you. Assuming you fell from one of God's thoughts. Hata kama ni mshuto ya Mungu. Pengine wewe ulitoka kwa matako ya Mungu. You are still part of God, but hata kama ni kwa matako. Matako si mbaya. Maybe one of you came from God's brain cell. The same way you have brain cells, you have heart cells, you have liver cells. Think about it like that. So your spiritual predecessor could have been a cell that was within God's brain cell. If you want to think about it like that, there's no other language. So when you're thinking of an ancestor as someone who was walking, Moranga, weak, you are selling yourself short. So think about your spirit as a spiritual predecessor. So when you're calling upon your spirits, call upon spirits that mean you no harm. Be very intentional. Call on spirits that mean you no harm. Call on spirits that mean good for you. Call on spirits that are going to fight for you. These have become your spiritual guards and soldiers and things like those ones. Don't call on weak spirits. Fuck them, speak weak ancestors. Fuck all of them. Sasa. Would you demystify this story of dreaming in class and meeting your old colleagues? Now, every time you are in a classroom, now this is for your dream. Every time you are dreaming in a marketplace, na sasa mnaturudisha nyuma. Hizi ni vitu hata nimeandika vitabu about, and I should be publishing my books now. When you go to a marketplace, what do you go to do? You go to buy. When you go to a classroom, what do you go to do? You go to learn. So when you are dreaming in class, you are dreaming of learning, absorbing, feminine. That's feminine. That's a feminine dream. Buying is masculine. You are giving money. That's masculine. So when you are dreaming in class, that's a feminine. So this is a feeling. Okay? Emotions. So when you are dreaming in class, so you are dreaming, your old colleagues are old feelings that you have. Okay? Old feelings that you have. And what do you do in class? You learn. So you are meeting old feelings, aka a case of been there, done that. that keeps coming back to you, like you are repeating lessons that ungekuwa umeacha. By now unafaa ujue you don't need to fuck around, you just need to find one or two good women and fuck them and ditch your condoms. Otherwise utakuwa unashinda ukiota na class na commit old colleagues. That's why you keep using condoms. Okay? Find your own. Kama ulivaccinatiwa, tafuta mwenye mlivaccinatiwa nao mkulane. Leave my beautiful and vaccinated women for me only. Sawa? I am an open spirit, outgoing and actively touching souls in my own unique way. Shout out to Big Bronje. Why do I experience blockage and negative energy for most souls I interact with? Because you are swimming upstream. The moment you are awoke or awake, you are going against the tide. You are like those fish that swim upstream. So by default, the world is against you from everything. The only thing that is on your side is Father's breath, air, Mother, Earth, Fire's breath, pia kuna fire or vision, na kuna water, emotions. Anything else becomes an enemy of you. The only thing that becomes your friend is God, source. Anything else becomes anti you. That is why you find it so hard. That is why you are blocked everywhere. Your finances are blocked. Shout out to 1111. Okay? Your finances are blocked. I don't have good weed. I would have lit some good weed. I don't have some. So shout out to my 1111 people. Though I don't have to smoke. Can smoke mentally. Zile vitu naongea hata mtu amesmoke anaweza ziongea. Sasa do I need a smoke? I actually smoke to calm down. Not calm as CALM, but to calm down as to calm down to this 3D. That's why I smoke, actually, to come more into my physical body. Okay? To experience more of the physical sensations. Because my mind be too high sometimes. I be almost floating in the sky. Okay? Mebakisha kidogo nianze kupepea huku, fly. Really, like literally fly away. Muone, ameenda. Someday, eh? So, any question? Now, we have, or I have, but it's a collective. So, sitasema I have, because it's a collective. It's a collective. So, as a collective, right now, for the soul group, and you, wala kuja kwa page yangu, let me announce this. We have, or I have, we have, collectively, a page, a website, a school, ukipenda, where most of the things we talk about, you can find them as lessons, as courses. Kuna mini courses hapo. So look out for what you call Umoja Spirit Circle. Umoja Spirit Circle. So in Umoja Spirit Circle, this is a community of unity where you can log in, you can find a course, you can ask any questions, you can find affirmations, you can find practices, you can find announcements to things that are coming, na vitu kama hizo. TikTok tutakuwa tunakuja tu tuna vibe, tutakuwa tunakuja, fanya Q&A, tunaongeleshana, tutacheza matches, tunaenda. Umoja Spirit Circle. I'll tell you when I'm launching it. Maybe you can come. But I felt like I should mention that. That's where most of the teachings now will be, in a safe space. Because now, for some people, when people are not exchanging energy, there are so many people who have told me they want me to create a course they want to pay for. They don't want free things. They're like, make it tunalipa ndio najua nitapata quality. That is the kind of world you are in. So in there's mini courses. There's a mini course there on spirituality if you want. There's those kind of things. There's rituals there compiled that you can do. Then you can draft them to work for you. I don't give you rituals. In fact, I wouldn't suggest any ritual that I give you to do how I'm giving you. What I do is remind you how to create yours and give you a framework na wewe uende utengeneze. Si bora nyumba kama ya Sue. Shout out to Sue. Daily cooking for the husband and building a new house. Big spirit huyo. Huo Sue anapikianga bwana yake. Day 500 of cooking for my husband. I would fuck Sue every day. Any day, I can fuck Sue any day because Sue is someone you can build with. Esoterically speaking. Better than most of the women out here. With all your asses and everything. Shout out to Sue. Fucking with the right woman. Okay? Building with the right woman. You get it? Yeah, so... Any other question that you have? So quiet here. I love it. I love how quiet it gets around here. Gratitude. I don't take it for granted. Thank you, Source, for giving me a quiet place. It's beautiful. Listen to the birds. You can even hear a fly. Inzi inapita unaisikia unasema kwani kuna inzi imeingia nyumba na ni moja. Because of how quiet it is. Okay? So if you have a question you can ask. Oh my God, I love watching you, but when I come to watch you and I listen to your attitude, where go and heal? Leave my attitude alone. I'm a moon in Leo. That's how I talk. I'm not here to please you. Okay? I also don't want, and I'm also not expecting you to tone down in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Don't be humble. I don't like people who are humble. Humble is weakness. Be modest. Do whatever you do as long as you're not hurting anyone. Sasa, power to my women and my brothers out there. So I'm not humble. I'm modest. Oh my God, the way you talk on your life, mimi kwanza unanitishanga sana. Si Pastor Ng'ang'a anawachapanga hata makofi na anawafukuza kanisa. Mbona mwambiangi ni mrabu? But when you come to my page, you're like, I don't like how you talk. Go and tell your Pastor Ng'ang'a to change how he talks. Toa hiyo mawe iko kwa macho yako before kuja kutoa mchanga kwa macho yangu. You get what I'm saying? Rituals we need to do before traveling abroad. We need protection rituals. You need a very sharp sword. And you need a shield. Now this is deep. This is spiritual. Okay? You need a shield and a sword. You need to create a ritual where you have a sword and shield ritual for traveling abroad. Na si ile mnaenda kudanganywa huko Kiamombi na ule mchawi wenyu. Mnamuita aje? Ule mchawi anachukuanga passport zenyu zote. Ule oligithagi ule veserwaga nyũngũ. Abereserwa nyũngũ agaita mũcumbe mwakiri mũmwĩtaga atia Jehia. Don't be scammed by Jehia. You need a real sword and shield ritual. Nikwambie venye utajifanyia wewe. I don't need to do it. Nikwambie venye utajifanyia. Na before that nitakuwa nimekuschool or remind you on what you need, why you need it. Hata utaona ina make sense. How to do it, where to do it, where, why, when, what to say, what direction to face, which day, and you are set. Ingine yote ni sarakasi. Okay? Ingine zote ni sarakasi za pasta. Sinje hii alikuwa pasta. Simumwambia ni block, ani block, anakuanga ameni block. Ani ni block last year. Why are you blocking me? Si you come we talk. Tuone nani anajua venye nasema. You don't have to block me. But you need to block me because I'm too bright for you. Otherwise nitakuwa nakupea mijeredi every day. Spiritual whipping every day. Nyahunyo spiritual. Fadhayo ni block. Dayo abu wake nyajui. Wagige. How is Nakuru? Big farmer in the house. Kitaka mahindi ogea na abu kenyanjui wangige. Samia ataniambia ni mtakufa mimi. Me I'm already walking in the valley and the shadow of death. Ataniambia nitakufa mimi. Do you know the first time I was given dates za kukufa nikiwa Mbogoni? Me when I was told I would die, I actually tested it out. I was told on this date, at this hour, utakufa na accident ya barabara. I told Monjiro, on this and this date, nimeambiwa nitakufa. Na I care about you guys. If I die, ni sawa. If I don't die, ni sawa. I'm going on a drive. And I went on a drive. A very good drive. A very good drive. I didn't die. Na nikarudi kwa huyo rafiki yangu mganga, tukacheka sana na yeye. Sana, a good friend of mine. Shout out to Baba Waithera. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Okay? Death is a beautiful thing. I'm not afraid of death. Death is transformation. Okay? Death is transformation. I'm not afraid of dying. I die today, I come back very fast. Bigger than better. I'm actually more dangerous alive than when I'm dead. Because when I'm dead, you have no idea what is on my mind. That's my secret. So you don't know what I can come back as. I may come back as another sun. Before ile jua iwake, munakuta jua ingine inawakanga saa 9 za usiku. Ama inawakanga saa 7 za usiku. Mpaka saa 8 za usiku. For 1 hour. Scientists waite something. Waseme ni asteroids. Waseme whatever you wanna come up with. Okay? Not afraid of death. Yaani wameuliza maneno ya traveling ritual, sword and shield. Wewe hiyo ni consultation. Take my number, kuja DM, ready to consult. Consulting price yangu inakuanga 2700. Hiyo ni donation, is not a prize. Hiyo ni donation, 2700 to book a consultation. Kuanzia hapo tujue nini, but most of the time ukibook your consultation atokanga hapo na answers zako zote. Bible verses, venye utaenda ufanye, venye utasema, kwenye utabadilisha jina uweke yako, kando yenye utatumia, incense yenye utatumia, na zote ziko supermarket. Hata nakwambia kwenye utaenda kununua. Imagine, paka nakwambia ni wapi. Enda Carrefour fulani, enda Rubis fulani, utapata incense fulani, enda Yaya fulani, utapata vitu kama hizo, you know what I'm saying? Shina mkiua mbuzi hapa, mnauliza mbuzi nini saa zote kufinya mbuzi? Southern Kikuyu, my people. My Aterere people. Mnataka tuingie deep? Mnataka niwaonyeshe how fucked up your old Kikuyu culture is? Not fucked up in a bad way, but the fact that ni maneno mingi mnafikirianga mnajua na hamjui. Tuingie huko ama tuache? Tuache. This is for learning purposes only. We are not here to attack anyone. No nitwendete gutheria, nitwendete kurunga. Ke turunge hanini. Turunge hanini. Niriguire muratangathire irua. Niryo ritagwo irua. Na irua ni koa gode, to peel, peeling back the mask, peeling the foreskin. Foreskin ni kidu kiajire, kidu gyothe gi fore ni face, waga the forefront, face othio. So we are peeling back the mask, we are peeling back the foreskin. Koguo kou ti kurua, kou ni koa gode, koa gode. Okay? We are peeling. The way you take an orange na kisu una peel. Tuoa gode. Niki, todo irua nerea maito. Irua nerea maito. Niki ikiruaga he mwana wa kahii. Ni mururuma. Niguo uruaga. Mururuma uria wa kahii niguo uruaga. Nikio titagwo kiga. Now, maito wanyu akuruithagia atia? Maito wanyu akuruithagia na iria ria nyondo. Uguo ni kuga atia? Uguo ni kuga we riria wagia kana ngana riria waciarirwo mami wanyu ni agirwo ni gukwika kindu gitagwo guthinuria or peeling back the foreskin. Agirwo ni agathinuria foreskin, agafeed your dick, your penis, akamifeed na iria, akahinya iria ria nyondo rigaitikira kamuti kau gaku ga 2 inches, na nikionaga gikuyu kiingi matire miti minene. That is why a lot of Kikuyus have 2-inch dicks, because their dicks have not been fed with milk. Tondu kiu ni kiga organ, and every organ needs to eat, and every organ that removes eats. That's why your heart is an organ. Iriaga rich oxygenated blood, ikaruta thakame ihurite carbon dioxide. Higo ciaku nisiriaga niki there is sufficient blood sikaruta. Nikio isi ciothe ni ciiga ciigikwo transplanting. Any organ that can be transplanted, it's an organ. An organ means something that is self-sustaining, a stand alone. Ati ngoro no igwo haria itwarirwo mundu ungi. Are you following? Are you following? Now, ndiramba gupose uhoro ucio wa irua hau ginya ikinye 100k likes, and then hati mundu ra share live ino, then I expect sharing ya hii live to almost everyone listening to share the live, and then 100,000 likes tuigirisi cia irua nigetha umenye gikuyu ni parallel, gikuyu ni maita meri, uhoro uria mwega na ma munjire kana tuguthie na ma, truth, pta mamita pta in Kemet, kana tuguthie na the good news, niyo Bible, niyo written language, not oral. Gikuyu ni oral tradition. Munjire tuguthie na iriku twakinya hau. In the meantime, let me drink some water, or let me warm some tea. Sawa? Coke utwarie cia irua. Ati kahari ni kagirwo ni guthinurio gacuthi gagekirwo iria nigetha kiga kiu gikure kina hinya. You can sustain an erection for hours. They should give me back my foreskin. Nidi ugite ni nduruga ati gowo godete yo. Ndagwo ni kurua ndigwo gwati. Magi adigirie gwati yakwa na ngia na kimuti kinene, tikuga ati muti ni munini, ni kuga ndirauga big dick energy. It's not even about the dick. Is having the balls to speak the way I speak, and no one can tell me shit. Saturn in Aries. Chani kunywe maji, mushare video na mulike, tuendelee. Kama mtafikisha 100,000 na mtashare, tuachane na hiyo video. Ndio maikale na ihei. Na tulego. We ni kunoma. It was a good break. Unajua nimeenda nikapata niliacha gasi ya Monjiro on. Nimeingia kitchen nikakuta kumenuka. It's been burning for like 3 hours. Umeshare live? Aya. Hata hajafika 50,000 likes. Na mimi nasema 100,000. Usiangalie mrota. I think mimi ni mwotaji wa ndoto zisizotabirika. Mwotaji wa ndoto zisizotabirika. Jenga muthaka. We ni mwotaji wa ndoto zisizotabirika. Ukitaka 100,000 likes. Tusihurire gita. Oko twacihurira gita nĩ cigũkinya. Igie gita pengine zitafika. I wish mnaweza niona. Lakini hamwezi niona. I wish mnaweza niona. Hiyo ishiki vizuri change. Na mimi nangojea mushare live. Mimi nangojea mfike likes za maana. Tuongee maneno. Speak now or forever hold my peace. I want to help the Kikuyu men to stop having small dick energy. Stop having small dicks. Aranjĩrire njũke ũtukũ mũcina. Najua mtafikisha 100,000 but nangojea mushare tutaingia. I'm very generous with you. I know you have many issues. Social conditioning, hating anything that looks like is there to help you. So unajua, so ndapeleka pole pole. Sinaona wengine wametoka kuo, sasa tuko 16. They are like, "Ai, anatuambia aje tu like, hatuta like." Wewe enda huko small dick. Toka hapa. Nini ya wenye wanajijua? Anyway, tuendelee. Najua si kupenda kwenyu. Nigo ikora. Haya. Twakiuga atiriri. Agikoro na ekumuunga. Munga ni agioka twariririe ekumuunga. Munga ni arerora hihi. Munga angekuja hapa tungeongelea maneno ingekuwa poa sana. But tunaweza iongelelea. Nsi. Acha tushare hii kwa group ya WhatsApp. Juu najua sasa nyinyi nikiwa nimeshare. I've just shared my live to over 30,000 people just like that. So acha niache kukusumbua nikikwambia ati ushare kwa watu 10. Twakiuga atiriri. Agikorwo irua nĩ rĩa maitũ rĩ, maitũ no kũhũthĩra iria rĩa nyondo aruithie kana ga kahĩĩ agathinurie agekĩre iria gacuthĩ-inĩ nigetha kĩga kĩu gĩkũre kĩhande kĩrũgame. Nako kairĩtu agakemũria kwemũria pulling back the labia majora and the labia minora agakahe iria Kavajaina kau gakaheo iria nigetha kiga kiu gigakura wega gi strong kina muscles gikanyita ati nginya no kioe karamu no kinyite coins no kinyite kara. Okay, tight pussy. Okay, tight vagina that can push a baby. Inyuĩ ciana cianyu citingĩciara citingĩtindĩka, they cannot push because they don't have the muscle. You need vaginal muscles to push a baby. Inyuĩ mũrathiĩ CS tondũ mamu wanyu nĩ maregire kũmũruithia mwĩtwana, nĩ maregire kũmwemuria, kũmũhe iria. So, angĩkorwo irua nĩ rĩa maitũ, na ĩno ĩngĩ tauga ĩno mũratangathire mũrauga ciana cia kahĩĩ nĩ cirathiĩ kũrua rĩ, na rĩu ti irua kũu nĩ kũwa ngode rĩ, kũwa ngode. Ũkowo ngode, peeling back the mask, the foreskin, initiation, ĩkohwo haha rungu rwa penis, mũkamĩta ngwati. Watigwo na ngwati, some kisses no matĩtie na maathai amwe. Ĩgetwo ngwati. Nĩgetha haha hoke mũnagatho, nĩgetha mũnagatho ũyũ athĩnje mbũri, nĩgetha mbũri ĩno yume ngatho, ngatho ici nĩcio ciĩtagwo strips of skins. Strips of skins iria cihũthagĩrwo kuoha kana gũ-stitch that piece of flesh under the dick nĩgetha ĩgathagwo, ĩkahihinywo, tũmaĩ tũu tũkauma nĩgetha dick yaku ĩgatigwo ĩ njega. Nĩgetha rĩrĩa ũkauma kũrĩa, ũthiĩ ũcemanie na mũtumia, ũmũhũre kĩndũ, wahũra mũtumia kĩndũ, ngatho ici okorwo nĩ ciagathirwo wega citikambũka, aka your dick imehil vizuri, ngwati ĩyo nĩ nũmu, koguo ndũnambũka. Ũgacoka he mũnagatho, ũgacokia ngatho. Wathi ũgacokia ngatho, mbũri ĩrĩa yaumĩte ngatho iria ciakuhete harĩa, or the skin that was used to stitch your tiny penis. No ririkane wambire ũkĩrua, ũkĩruithio nĩ maitũ na iria. Rĩrĩa wathinũrirwo, ũgĩkĩrwo hau dick-inĩ, no ngoro warĩ kairĩtu, ũkĩemũrio, ũgĩkĩrwo hau gapusi-inĩ. Nĩgetha pusi yaku ĩkahota gũtindĩka mwana, ũtige gũtinda ũgĩthiĩ CS. You get it? Now, gĩkũyũ akauga atĩrĩrĩ, gũtirĩ mũndũ ũruaga merĩ. Gũtirĩ mũndũ ũruaga merĩ. Na nĩma gũtirĩ mũndũ ũruaga merĩ. Koguo, we wekirwo iria harĩa nĩ waruire, no ngoro ndwekirwo iria rĩ, ndwaruire. Na gũkũ rĩ, woka wathiĩ waruĩra kĩganda gĩa PCA, kwĩna athuri mareĩta kĩama kĩa maheni, whatever they are calling themselves, shout out to them, who cares? Wathi waruĩra kĩganda, Mũgĩkũyũ ũkauga atĩrĩrĩ, mũruĩra kwene rĩ ndomagia, shout out to Mũnga. Mũruĩra kwene ndomagia. We waruĩra kwanyu ngana kwene, ũgacoka ũmerie kũ? Tũgathiĩ harĩa tũgakora kĩndũ gĩtagwo aramati a thingira. They are my friends. Never think that when I speak like this, these are people we sit down with. They invite me. Shout out to them. Aramati a thingira, Mũrogo wa Kimari, Mũnagatho, Kaguo gwa ciothe. Shout out to all of you. I beg you, all of you. Shout out to you. Ndamũgeithia. But I don't give a shit on what is coming out of your mouth. Icon ya kũhĩngĩcithia andũ. Na ti kwenda kwanyu. I know it's too much to withdraw your books. Hizo mavitabu mmeandika ni hada ku withdraw mabuku kama maikare na the lies inside them, gukira ku retrace na muge ni mwehĩngĩcire. But men is being accountable for your mistakes. As a man, you should be accountable. As a man, you should be vulnerable. Vulnerability is very sexy. Imagine urugamite ukera andu, poleni sana, ibuku rĩa ndandĩkĩte ũguo tiguo kwarĩ, na ndoria tu kũrekerwo. Do you know how many women would fuck you that night? That horo wa fucking hĩndĩ ciothe ndũgeciria atĩ nĩ you fucking. No, I'm just saying, do you know how many people would fuck with you? Everybody wants to fuck with you. Everybody wants to be associated with you because now you are a man of integrity. Now you are a man who is accountable. Are you getting? Wathi kũrĩa aramati rĩ, ũkaigua atĩrĩrĩ, atĩ Mũnagatho witũ rĩ, and shout out to him. Ati munagatho itu ri ni araciara ciana ici cikiuma kuria kianda ni ciraciarwo na mburi. Mburi iyo igetwo mburi ya urimo. No itini ndauga niyo. Mburi ya urimo. Now, gutiri igongona ona rimwe riuragira. Every ritual, every word, no nginya ikinyanire. Koguo ciana cianyu ciothe iria cirathi kuruira kiganda cirarutirwo mburi ya urimo. Koguo cirathiririo urimo, na nikio Gikuyu mugite urimo uguo. Kuruira gode kanitha-ini kana gukorwo mutongoretio ni andu mataramenya uria marauga, matirathi nama, marathi no horo uria mwega wandikitwo njano-ini. Muruira kwene ndomaga na gutiri uru wa meri. Aikorwo ni warugire kuruithio ni nyukwa na iria, gugu gugiti kurua ni kuogode. That's why your men cannot push. That is why your men cannot build, because they have small dick energy. Ona tumiti twao tutikuraga. Tumiti twa Gikuyu men twa ijinya. No puns intended. Okay? Do have a beautiful Thursday. Expansion Jupiter. Ni mathaa ma gwitana 11:45. Archangels ukoragwo 11:45 am. You can google. Tikumaga njoka uga ati ni twitane ukoya moko na iguru, uroya moko na iguru ndui. Understand the archangel you are calling. You can google archangel associated with 11:45 tutana kinya miaraho, or what you call a nu or high noon in Kemet, or when the sun is at its highest, what you call Cancer or Noah's time. Shout out to Noah's time, Cancer. So before Cancer gets here, tukaumaja tugetana 11:45 nigetha miaraho kwarahirwo, miaraho tutigakuo ni mai mau, tutigathererio ni mai mau, twarahirwo, kwaraha, kurera, kwaraha haha njarahite weru. Na ni thayo.